What's up, everybody? Let's talk about this COVID-19 virus and how to manage some of the stress that comes from it. This virus has resulted in some huge disruptions and changes in people's lives all around the planet. Put simply, stress is the body and the mind's reaction to all these disruptive and unplanned changes in our lives. Now, stress is normal, but at high levels, it can be very unhealthy. Some people may experience a little bit of stress, while others are going to experience a lot during this COVID-19. So let's add a little bit of context here. To help understand some of these weird behaviors like toilet paper hoarding, let's talk a little bit about our species, Homo sapiens. So we've been on this planet now for about a few 100,000 years. So our brains are wired with the same systems that helped us to survive since the hunter and gatherer times, the caveman times. So for example, we're wired with this emergency or alarm system. People call it fight, flight, freeze system. So this is a physiological chain reaction. Some of the physiological changes is increase of heart rate, dilated pupils, constriction of blood vessels, adrenaline rush, tunnel vision. All this puts you into that survival mode. You're just focusing on surviving the danger. This is a system of high emotion, but it also decreases your ability to think rationally, logically, and plan for the future. In essence, we have a little caveman in us, and that can help us understand some of this toilet paper hoarding or fighting over toilet paper in the markets. Yes, the COVID-19 turns this alarm system on. So what can we do to manage all of this stress? Well, one simple exercise is deep breathing. So you breathe in through your nose, you hold that for about 3 to 6 seconds, and then you release. Do that about 10 times. When your alarm system is turned on, you actually take shallow breaths, and that kind of blocks the oxygen from reaching your brain. Thus, it is very important to increase oxygen by doing some deep breathing. How about exercise? So exercise is wonderful. You can do weights, you can do cardio, you can do walking, hiking, cycling. That increases your breathing, your strength, and it releases some relaxing hormones in your brain. And no, you don't need equipment to work out. If you want 2 basic exercises that'll help you out, if you can do those 2 on a daily basis, you will be great. Next, get a good night's sleep consistently. Poor sleep actually makes it difficult to regulate your emotions and decreases your ability to manage stress. It also decreases your energy levels and also decreases your ability to concentrate. Right now is a time where you want to do some enjoyable activities. That could be anything from playing video games, watching movies, reading books, cooking, gardening, drawing, home DIY projects, etc. It's also helpful if you listen to some positive and uplifting music. No doomsday, dramatic, depressive kind of music. Prayer is very good for the soul. Whatever deity, if you have one, go ahead, connect, pray, universe to your deity. It doesn't matter, but praying is actually good. And if you're non-religious and non-theistic, you can actually do some gratitude exercises, which is kind of like identify some things that you are grateful for right now in your life. So yes, I want you to focus on what you have, not on what you don't have. Now is a good time to reach out to your loved ones and people that are supportive to you. For me, my mom, she's the best listener on the planet, but no, you can't call my mom. So let's talk about things to be mindful of. The number 1 revenue for news is advertisements. And the way they get you to watch them is by these breaking news and these headlines, and sometimes they're overdramatic. So the news can increase your anxiety and your stress levels. Don't watch news all day. In fact, I don't like to watch my news. I prefer to read my news. But even when you're reading news, just be mindful of the articles that try to get you to click on it. Some of the news will try to predict future problems. They'll say, oh, maybe this is going to happen, or this may happen, or potentially this is going to happen. Try to stay away from those. So you want to get the facts. You don't need to go and panic buy just because you see a military tank like, oh my God, martial law. I've gotten messages from different people saying, hey, they know a source that's connected to an authority, and they say the military, and they'll say things like, we're going to be locked down in your home for 3 days. False. Another person said, they're going to close down the grocery stores. False. So be careful with fake news, memes that pretend to be news or factual, posts that produce fear, and news that is overwhelming. You gotta know your limit. You gotta be able to turn things off if you're not feeling good. You wanna get your news from reputable sources. The Centers for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, your government at a local, at a state level, at a federal level. Trust the professionals and follow their recommendations. So you want to stay away from these unhealthy ways of coping with this stress. Alcohol is a neurotoxin. I think some doctors recommend like 1 or 2 drinks. I'm pretty sure there's doctors that recommend 0 drinks. Don't rely on alcohol for your source to manage the stress. I know CBD is really popular right now. I cannot critique it because I've never consumed it. The only thing I will say is that good CBD is going to cost you a lot of money on a monthly basis. If you want some herbal medications, some much cheaper ones are stuff like L-theanine, ashwagandha, kava kava, the valerian root, passion flower. Look those up. They will help decrease your anxiety. And while we're talking about this, caffeine, coffee, you want to stay away from coffee if you are a very anxious person. The caffeine will increase your anxiety levels. These stressful times can also trigger thoughts of suicide. So if you are having those thoughts, you want to get the supports. There are plenty of supports online and also telephones you can call, like hotlines. So I will post those in the description. So here are some tips for parents out there. So first off, you as an adult are the foundation of your child's sense of safety. So if you panic, your kids are also going to panic too. It's okay to worry. Just set aside some adult worry time, like when they're asleep or when you have some alone time. You do want to keep a routine. Kids respond really well when they know what's going to happen in their day. You also want to get your kids to sleep at a consistent time. Whatever time you choose, just do it consistently because their brains are going to be thrown off and their ability to regulate stress and emotions and their memories and all kinds of stuff, it's thrown off. So yeah, I know that the schools want you to be a teacher at home, but you'll have to be loose with your expectations of schooling at home. More importantly, keep them active, keep them doing stuff. Do some activities. The Dollar Tree is a great place for really cheap, low budget activities. But you don't even need money because you can make up your own games. You can have like paper airplane races. You know, you can have Lego building if you have Legos. Dancing. You can just dance. You can sing songs with your kids. You can play hide and seek. You can make indoor tents with blankets. Some Nerf shooting games. You know, piggyback rides. You know, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I don't know whose idea it was, but we get a large, Yellow Pages books coming to the house. We had this idea of tearing out all the pages, spreading them all over the living room, and then we would slip and we slide and we were like swimming in those pages. We had a lot of ink on our body afterwards, but it was a lot of fun. Another thing you want to keep in mind, you do want to talk to your kids about the changes that they're all having to go through and correct any misinformation about the virus that they may have. All right, let's go over some additional helpful tips. If you got laid off, now's the time to apply for unemployment. Do a Google search for your state and then type in the words apply unemployment. If you can't pay your bills or your mortgage, you want to contact those companies directly and speak to them about what you can do. Don't wait to talk to them until after you've missed a payment. Keep in mind that if rent payments are deferred or like foreclosures are suspended, you're still gonna owe the money. So this is not a time to like relax and think that the debt is canceled. It's just moved to a later time and you still owe it. That debt is gonna accumulate and it accumulates fast. So be careful with your mindset. You also want to be careful of scams. There's always scams in like difficult financial times. If something sounds suspicious or it's too good to be true, you want to stop, you want to think before you make a decision. Nobody gives away money for free to random strangers. Now, some ideas to make money. There's a lot of hiring going on right now. So my understanding is that like Walmart is increasing the hiring, Amazon, like grocery stores, Domino's Pizza, Instacart is also hiring. You got Postmates, you got Grubhub, you got Uber Eats, you got DoorDash. I know some people are already thinking of making like coronavirus merchandise, like t-shirts, stickers, piñatas, making and selling like cool masks. You can also sell things that you don't need or that's been laying around your house for a long time. Post them up on eBay, OfferUp, the Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. If you have skills, such as handyman or auto detailing, I mean, you can sell services. If you have more ideas, leave them in the comments. And feel free to share how you are coping with this COVID-19 pandemic. You never know, it could help other people out. Corrections, links, additional information will be in the description of the video. Stay home, stay safe. We'll get through this.